What's going on, everybody? This is Professor Crypto Banana. As time progresses, the future of DeFi is becoming more clear to me as we speak. I feel that F-NFTs, short for financial NFTs, is going to play a big part coming up in the future. Now, there could be a misconception with NFTs just in general for overpriced JPEGs, and people say, oh, it's not worth anything, it's rug pull, whatever it may be. Well, I feel as if it's building off that technology and it's now coming over to DeFi. So typically with projects, some may say, hey, lock up your tokens or your funds for extended period of time and you will get rewards for it. However, some people are reluctant to do so because they may want to sell their funds. They want to be liquid. Things change so much in crypto, so they may not even want to do that at all. Now, step in with F-NFTs and the ability to make your locked funds now liquid in a way. It really provides so many different options and variables. I'm seeing a lot of this happen on the Phantom side, but I really do believe that this could happen on different blockchains, and I'm excited to share the information that I'm learning about. I'm going to continue to do more research, so this is all just my understanding. So let's get started. Keep in mind, everything in this video is not financial advice. It's just for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please do your own research and keep in mind that crypto is risky. So yesterday I did a video, and I noticed that Deus, I say Deus, but I guess other people pronounce it differently. Deus is what people normally say. And I saw that while everything was going down in the markets, Deus was actually going up. And I know that they have a partnership with Liquid Driver. And I was like, okay, this has already been on my radar a little bit. Cool. And I was talking about it then yesterday when I was already at, I don't even know if it was $40, $60, but now it already doubled in the sense of 24 hours, yes, up 80%. So I'm not talking about price here. That's not what's important. It's the price action that makes me say I wanted to research this project more and see what I can come up with, because this is already on my list. But after such a big price action, I need to do more research. So as I stated, I watched the live stream that Phantom Community Alerts had with Lafa. Now, I'm going to provide some quick points as to what I learned about this. Number one, Lafa actually inspired Dr. Liquid, who is running Liquid Driver, inspired him to get started. So Austin in Phantom Community Alerts, he actually mentioned that and said, like, whoa, if you inspired Dr. Liquid, who's doing a lot of stuff on Phantom already, we definitely got to talk to you. So it was very interesting to hear that and see that as well. The main takeaway I got about Deus is that they're wanting to create synthetic stocks, assets, etc. Likewise, they have a second portion for oracles that's specific for getting really quick price feeds. So the price of things can fluctuate very quickly. Think about it on the stock market, but you got to relay that or send that information over to the crypto side and projects, right? So they have one that is doing more of the oracle and the other one where people can actually create synthetic assets such as Tesla stock or whatever it may be. And the main point that they wanted to make, or that he wanted to make, is that it's not for an oracle that's focused on one thing because somebody's going to do something better, make it faster, etc. So rather, they're focused on providing the toolkit to do it. So anybody can come over, use, let's say, Mono, which is the oracle, to construct whatever they need to. Yeah, kind of makes sense in that. And then when it comes to Deus, then anybody can make derivatives and stocks and whatever it may be and create it that way as well. Interesting. So what would be a key benefit? Because that's a lot of technical stuff and I'm still trying to process that all together, yeah? But imagine having Tesla stock, and I traded stocks before as well. I get frustrated because there's a limited time frame as to when I can actually trade the stock. What if it's at midnight and I say, oh my goodness, I just saw some news and now I want to trade something? Can't really do it, right? Market close. But that doesn't make sense to me. When we're on the internet, we're talking, we can access anything that we want. So it doesn't make sense to me. So the fact we can do that on the crypto side and have, a synthetic asset that can do that, that's like, I like that. And there's probably a lot of possibilities. It's on a lot of different blockchains. I was like, okay, that is pretty cool as well. Now, why the recent price pump? I couldn't tell you. I would want to look more, but this is as far as I got into my research, so just wanted to share that. Let me make sure I got everything in my notes right here. Oh, yes. And another important factor was It reminds me of Luna. So with Luna UST, it's the concept if a lot of people are going to a stable coin of UST, then that is actually burning, meaning creating less supply of Luna. And you can think of supply and demand when there's less supply, or even just same demand or even more demand, price should hopefully go up. Yeah. So what they're doing is almost the same thing. Is they have a stable coin called DEI, and as a result, everything on Deus has to be in that stable coin. And as a result, by being in that stable coin, it actually burns off the Deus token. So that would explain how they do that. So I think it was a very unique tokenomics. Also allows for being across multiple blockchains. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So those are some things that I did discover. So talking about Liquid Driver, it makes sense that Dr. Liquid wanted to do a partnership with LAFA. And just taking a look at the pools, it's like, oh my goodness. So DAY and USDC, they're both stable coins. Currently, 59% APR. 9% is getting paid in Liquid Driver tokens, as well as the trading fee APR. So 20% is getting paid out in Liquid Driver tokens. 37% getting paid out in the Deus token, yeah? And with the Deus Phantom LP pair, 398%. Dang. So 38% Liquid Driver tokens, and then the trading fee is 166%. And then in terms of rewards, the Deus token is 194%. Now, I'm pretty sure Deus was bribing Liquid Driver for allow liquidity on the Spirit Swap side, which is great for all xLQDR holders. Now, when are those bribes going to come? I don't know. I'm excited. So disclaimer, I am a major, but for my portfolio, I hold a good portion of it in xLQDR, so I love it. I'll be excited for that. And then let's see what else we got here. So another thing that I do like about Liquid Driver is they have this kind of cool infographic site. Now, could it be better? Probably. But nevertheless, it is really cool to just see the analytics right here. So for example, I can click and it'll say, this is how much Lin Spirit it has. So on Spirit Swap, they're giving out the tokens, the emissions, and the more locked up in Spirit tokens a project or a person owns, the heavier weight that they can say, okay, rewards are going to go here, there, etc. So Lin Spirit, meaning Liquid Driver locked in Spirit, they're number one, 28%. Now, probably regular in Spirit holders, just going straight to Spirit Swap, is at 23%. Rain Spirit, which Drake on Digital actually did a quick video. No, he did a thread on Twitter about Rain Spirit, so that was a little bit interesting. They're at 17%, so they're catching up a little bit, eh? But either way, the analytics are very interesting. They're doing the same thing with 100 Finance. So Liquid Driver is a governance token hunters. They want to acquire as much as they can, so then they can be the kingmakers and say, oh, you want some liquidity on which swap, on which platform? We got you, fam. Okay, here. Oh, hey, by the way, it'd be really nice, can bribe us a little bit, etc. So that's what they're doing with 100 Finance right now. Where do they stand? They are currently the 23%, so probably 61% of 100 Finance, just people who already know about 100 Finance and locked it up directly. 61%, but Liquid Driver just started recently and they're already at 23%. So interesting. Now I'm going to continue this nice flow. Liquid Driver flow. Anyways, this nice flow because they're doing something interesting with the xLQDR, and this is where it ties into the financial NFTs. So if at this beginning you're like, dude, Professor, why you've been talking so much about these projects and what's happening, etc. No, I'm not paid. I'm not financed. No promotions, no anything. It's just I really like the projects. Certain things that I see, I go with it, research it, and some have natural ties, such as what we're going to talk about right here with Revest Finance. So xLQDR. There's an issue because a lot of people, what they'll do, as I mentioned, will lock up the token, but it's stuck. Can't move it, can't do anything with it. Yes, you get some nice rewards, but what if I want to transfer this to a different wallet? What if for whatever reason I want to sell? I'm stuck. However, Revest Finance is coming out with financial NFTs, and this could change the game. Now, maybe even this partnership, who knows, maybe it'll pan out really well and it'll be like the future, Or maybe there'll be other projects that do the same and they step up and they do an even better job. That's not what's important. What is important to me is the concept that is happening here. I'm reading the articles, I like what I'm seeing, and I find it very interesting. Yeah. So moving forward, I thought I had it all highlighted. No, let me take a look. I got it on this one, eh? All right. Either ways, the main concept that I get is that this allows, as you would imagine, people who have xLQDR tokens locked up for a very long time, the ability to now put it into an F-NFT and then be able to sell it, transfer it, maybe borrow against it. It brings up a lot of options. It's one of those things where all of a sudden you add just one little tiny bit, but it changes the whole game in terms of possibilities. You know, if let's say you're in a 2D world and you're like, oh, by the way, I'm just going to add one little extra dimension. You got now an X, Y, and now a Z axis. You're now three-dimensional. Does that make anything different? Yeah, that changes up a lot, right? So that's kind of like the same thing that's happening up here. So by being able to like leverage, borrow against all these different things that could potentially come down the road. Why am I talking about that? Why do I think that's a big deal? So imagine if I had $100 and I locked it up. Similar if I, and now it's an asset, and then eventually in 1 year, 2 years, it'll unlock and I'll have that $100. But it's stuck, it's gone. But technically, in a certain amount of time frame, it should be worth a certain amount of money. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just sitting there, it's not doing anything. Now, I think about it as I could go to a bank and say, hey, you do know I'm going to give you something that if you wait long enough, it will actually pay out $100. And then maybe it's also accruing rewards. Isn't that worth something? And then the bank says, yeah, I guess it is. And I say, can I please have a loan and get some money, against it? Because obviously you have something that is of worth value. So can you just give me the money now? And then, it's a win-win. That's how I'm picturing it. Hopefully that makes sense. I can always do diagrams later on, but that is the main thing that I wanted to bring up to your attention here. Likewise, I like reading the article that Revest put out. I'll leave all the links in the description here. But yeah, so this is where they're talking about, okay, well, how is Revest going to benefit from doing that? Well, they're going to have a one-time fee, apparently, of 1 Phantom at creation, which Phantom is at about currently $1.50 or so. So that is, I wouldn't say that that's very much at all. However, there's also going to be a 1% rewards accrued through the F-NFT positions go to the Revest stakers. So that's where they get their benefit. That's the catch for them. Okay, I also highlighted right here. So one major drawdown, xLQDR is tied to the wallet, making it impossible to move the positions. This way makes it a lot easier, can sell it on secondary NFT marketplaces, and soon, get this, dedicated F-NFT ones. So we probably all heard about OpenSea, right? If you're on Phantom, you know about PaintSwap. But what about dedicated F-NFT marketplaces? This is something else that I'm going to be watching out for. And let's see. Can add more to the position, can relock on the F-NFT. So it's essentially just making it be more fluid with a lot more options that wasn't there before. And they go more into more detail about like smart wallets and how that all gets implemented with their technology. Again, pretty cool. I can see where this is heading. Now, heading over to the Revest website, they already have it apparently with the Spirit Swap token. Now, how many are actually out there for sale? I'm just looking at this and it's like 1 Spirit LP. I would assume that this should vary greatly. Maybe people aren't doing that. I'm not sure, but maybe it's a proof of concept. But this is how the website looks. 30 million USD of total locked value inside F-NFTs, so smaller market cap. And of that 30, 10 million are on the Phantom side. Interesting. So there's different, I clicked around here just a little bit just to gain experience, but there's a lot that I have to learn and go over. I see a lot of options here. Like, what is an NFT locker? What is this airdrop that they're talking about based on a certain NFT? Rarity manifested, hectare around the world. Interesting stuff. Maybe this trade option right here has the unicorn, so maybe it means Uniswap can do it. Time will tell. Now, naturally, I was looking at the Revest token. I was thinking, well, I think potentially a lot of people are going to be into this. Could I get into the token? Let's see the price action. Now, it's not loading up right now, but it appears to me that this token only exists on Ethereum. And if you've been watching my channel for a little bit, you know that Professor don't do Ethereum gas fees. Not the whale, eats up way too much into my profits. But again, it's an interesting play potentially nevertheless. So let's take a look here. Hey, get out of here. So that's how the charts look in case you're interested in that. And yeah, Homim out here on Twitter, he does a nice little thread here about what financial NFTs are. So I'll leave a link in that description as well. Feel free to check it out if you're more of a reader as opposed to an audio visual person. So we'll take a look at that. So in conclusion, it really doesn't matter which projects I'm talking about. It's just the concept that financial NFTs seem to be entering into the DeFi space, and it may be worth taking a look and putting some time in to research them a little bit more. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Pieces.